After a break of a fortnight, Red Stripe Football Monday is returning to the screens of Sportsmax 2 tonight with a Casafa battle between Giants, Cavalier and Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens, five-time champions of the Premier League. They're on the road tonight at the Stadium East against the Cavalier team that have made the playoffs 2 years in a row and looking to make it 3 years in a row that they'll make the playoffs. It's going to be a big match tonight, and it's cool conditions here at the Stadium East.
And these two teams are hoping for a spot in the playoffs. And of course, the journey begins here this evening. My name is Shawana Ebanks, welcoming you to the pregame show for Red Stripe Football Mondays. And I know my face is not that familiar to the team, but get used to it because I'll be here for a little while. Of course, two faces that you'd be more familiar with are Donald Oliver and Lance Whitaker. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Shawana.
Yes, and we're happy to have you, Shawana. And it's going to be a big game tonight, as we said. These are two big names in the history of Casafa football. Cavalier were champions back in 1981. They've only won it once. Tivoli Gardens have been champions 5 times, so they know what it is to be champions. But at the moment, neither of these teams guaranteed a playoff spot.
Absolutely, and the last time they met, Tivoli Gardens defeated Cavalier 3-2. What are you expecting here tonight?
Well, it's a hard one to call because twice they've played so far this season. Tivoli won both of them. Last season they met 3 times and Cavalier won all 3. So I'm not sure what's in store for us tonight, but I'm expecting a good game.
Now, before we get more into what's going to happen here tonight, as you mentioned in your introduction, the Red Stripe Premier League returned this week after a 2 weeks break. Let's take a look at the results from Sunday.
Yeah, good results there for a few teams. Vere United continuing to struggle at the bottom of the table. They were 1-1 with Dunbeholden, who are now winless in their last 3 matches after securing a playoff position earlier on in January. Mount Pleasant, they've found their winning boots back on, and they were 3-0 winners over UWI. Waterhouse, undefeated now in 6 games with a 1-0 victory over Humberland, who lost their 3-game winning streak that they had in January, and there was a 2-2 result between Arnett Gardens and Malines. So Malines struggling as well because they started out well, but they have gone off the boil and right now struggling to stay in the top flight.
Now let's take a look at how these results has affected the table, Donald.
Yeah, Malines United, they're inching closer away, aren't they? They are probably, 9 points ahead of the relegation zone at the moment. UWI and Vere United, they're in pretty big trouble. At the top, of course, Waterhouse on 50 points, 3 ahead of Mount Pleasant. Portmore United in 3rd spot, and of course, Humble Lion in 4th at the moment. But you see the battle between 7th and 8th tonight. Tivoli Gardens against Cavalier, both needing those 3 points in order to try and move up the table. Won't get into the top 6 with victory, I think, unless it's a really big win. Well, there is an outside chance of them actually getting into the top 6, but let's see exactly how that happens. But yeah, it's a big match tonight between both of them.
Of course, only the top 6 teams will qualify for the playoffs, and it has been a pretty evenly contested head-up between Cavalier and Tivoli Gardens as we take a look at their results over the years.
Yeah, over the last 4 matches, we're seeing 2 Tivoli results there, September and December 2019. Those were this season matches, Tivoli winning both, 2-0 and 3-2. Last season, just 2 of the results of the 3 that they had last year, and Cavalier winning both of those, 3-0 and 1-0. And before that, there was a Cavalier win as well. So in the last 5 meetings, we have had 3 Cavalier wins, 2 Tivoli Gardens wins, and tonight is an opportunity for the Tivoli team to even things out.
Now, considering the head-to-head, Donald, what does Cavalier need to do tonight to get victory?
They have to do a few things right, but they've lost a couple of their attacking players from last season, Alex Marshall and Nicholas Hamilton, who are now overseas. Well, Hamilton, we suspect he's going to be going to Canada sometime during the course of this week as his work permit has come through. But the style that they play, the players who would come in for them will fit into that style because they like playing the ball around and they like to attack. And of course, this win is a must for them. It's a virtual 6-pointer. They need the 3 points in order to have a chance for them to be into the top 6 and maintain that spot as well.
Right, and Lance, Tivoli Gardens, they have lost some momentum since January. What do they need to do tonight?
Well, I think Tivoli Gardens, being the away team, would want to come to
are ready.
The role is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude and you get your money's worth.
It can save you hundreds of dollars this year and thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Here's how Honey works. This is
Actually, 3:30 ECT.
Thank you, Donald.
Yeah, no problem.
See why you're here.
Just about 22 minutes away from the kickoff. Red Stripe Football Monday is returning with Cavalier at home to Tivoli Gardens. It's lights, camera, and action for the rebirth of the Red Stripe Premier League football action on Mondays on the home of champions.
Red Stripe Premier League champion, boy.
Tivoli defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this piece of play. I'm gone.
Stadium East football field in St. Andrew. We are on Mountain View Avenue to be exact for Red Stripe Football Monday. Cavalier FC welcome Tivoli Gardens FC. And if you are just joining us, my name is Shawana E. Banks. Now, Donald and Lance, they have left, but Donald, he has a little something for you about the club profile.
Thank you very much, Shawana. Yeah, Cavalier, of course, one of the stalwarts of the Premier League over the years. And they, of course, were founded in 1962 and they won in 1981. Of course, that's their only title. They are located in the parish of St. Andrew. Of course, last season they made it through the playoffs and in particular into the semi-final. But this year they'll be hoping to go one better and probably two better as they aim for that RSPL crown. Cavalier FC, pretty much a young squad, this Cavalier football club. Of course, they have lost many players, but they see the prodigal son return, and he's in goal. J. Dean White, an outstanding schoolboy footballer over the years, has made the transition to the senior level very well. Of course, he has represented Jamaica a couple of times as well, J. Dean White, and of course they welcome him after his little stint at Humble Lion in Clarendon. And yeah, I guess he's happy to be back here. Of course, Messi Marsh, that's what they call him, but his right name, Chevon Marsh. He's a captain of this football club. And of course, he's an outstanding youngster, but you want him to be a little bit more consistent, right? He has quite a few goals to his name so far this season. I believe he has 9 to his name so far this season, Chevon Marsh. And of course, a lot is expected of him, especially with the absence of one, Alex Marshall and Nicholas Hamilton.
Rudolph Speed, of course, in charge of this Cavalier team, as he has been for many years now. And Shawana Banks spoke to him pre-game.
Rudolph, regardless of having some of the biggest victory margin this season, you haven't been able to maintain that. Are you leading towards an attacking game tonight?
Oh, we're always attacking, but you know, we changed at least 9 players from last year's team, so it's a process. We are very inconsistent.
And speaking of always attacking, you've lost 2 of your better attackers in Alex Marshall and Nicholas Hamilton to an overseas move. How will that affect the team?
Oh, and we even lose also Kaim Paris, and it does affect us tremendously because that was 2/3 of my attack, actually not here anymore. But we have some quality young players. You're going to see them on show tonight, and I'm sure they're ready to fill the breach.
Who are some of the players you're looking to?
Oh, well, young Dwayne Atkinson. He's playing like he was born here. Then we have Ronaldo Webster. We have Marlanda Maxwell. all teenagers. Allen, all teenagers. So today we are feeling a team that 8 players are under the age of 21 and only 3 players is over. So very young team.
Now you have lost some of your players due to transfer. Tell us about how the window has benefited you.
Well, we've also brought in some young players too. We decided that we were going to go full. We are trying to rebuild this year. Getting to the playoffs is a bonus, but we are committed to rebuilding and probably keep these players for another year. So it will affect us, and that is why we are so inconsistent, but we hope to get there before the season's finished.
Now in the last meeting against Tivoli Gardens, you lost 3-2. What's the approach to winning tonight?
Oh, well, our tactics, and I have to take the blame, was wrong in the first half. We're 3-0 under at the end of the first half, but in the second half we play differently. So it's not going to be so easy tonight.
Yeah, but it's going to be difficult against a Tivoli Gardens team. They started off, well, not the best this season, did they, Tivoli Gardens? They were founded in 1970. Of course, they're located in West Kingston. Last season, a disappointing 7th by any standard, but in particular, their standard. And of course, they have 5 RSPL titles starting from 1983. Of course, their last title was back in 2011. And Lance, quite a few players to watch for Tivoli Gardens, and in particular, their number 3, Davian Garrison, the holding midfielder who has some 5 goals to his name.
Yeah, joint leading scorer with the veteran Newton Sterling. They're the leading scorers. Davian Garrison, of course, played well for the UWI when they came up to the top flight 4 years ago, transferred this year to this Tivoli Gardens team, and he's been getting a lot of goals for them. There's Newton Sterling, as he said, joint leading scorer for the Tivoli Gardens team, a transfer from Arnett Gardens. Sterling, 35 years old now, but big, strong, and very, very potent, and deadly in the box, and strikes, as you saw there, with a pretty mean left footer. The go-to man with free kicks outside the box. Newton Sterling, a Caribbean Cup winner for Jamaica in 2005. Edson Scott is now one of the coaches at the Tivoli Gardens team, and here's what he said to Shawana Banks half an hour ago.
Thank you so much, Lance and Donald. Now, you had the momentum going for you in January with 3 straight wins, but you lost 2 games after that. What should we read into that?
No, I just think, yeah, we won 3 games in January, and then we have a hiccup against Mount Pleasant. But I think the break would help us regroup, refocus, and we have a chance to get in the top 6 tonight.
Speaking of that 2 weeks break, you said it will help you to regroup and refocus, but what are some of the other things that you have done during the break?
Yeah, we got the guys to focus. We'll train very well for the past 2 weeks, and I think they will do a good show tonight.
With the transfer window just closing, how has it benefited you, or not benefited you?
Yeah, we're bringing some young players. Some players left, and we're bringing some young players to help. We think could help the group. Various clubs we get in, and then I think youngsters from Stats. We bring in youngsters from Brownstown, Major League. So we will get. I think we're bringing youngsters to help the group. We are a very young group now, from the beginning from the season, and I think they will do a good performance tonight.
Speaking of putting on a good performance tonight, the last time you met, you came out on top. Surely that's the goal again tonight.
Yeah, as I said before, we got a chance to get in the top 6 from all season. We never start the season well. We bring in Admiral Bailey to help us, and we steady the ship. So get the 3 points tonight, get in the top 6, and take it from there.
Gardens are hoping for a top 6 finish. Let's take a look now on some La Liga action on Sportsmax 2. That is Saturday at 3 p.m. for ECT. Levante playing Real Madrid. And the Champions League round of 16 begins on Tuesday, 2:30 p.m., 3:30 ECT, when Borussia Dortmund play PSG. And And we have Tottenham Hotspur playing RB Leipzig Wednesday at 2:30, 3:30 ECT on Sportsmax 2. We're going to take a break, but stick and stay right here on the Home of Champions. When we return, we hear from the finalists, and of course, we have kickoff. We'll be right back.
Round of 16 action in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League begins on Tuesday, February 18th. And Flow Sports will hop over to Kingston, Jamaica, where the Caribbean's only flag bearer will be in action. Jamaica and Caribbean champions Portmore United will face the acid test when they come up against one of Mexico's finest, the six-time winners Cruz Azul, in a first leg encounter starting at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Jamaica time. So make it a date. Tuesday, February 18th at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Jamaica time. Portmore United versus Cruz Azul in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League.
Red stripe, watch out, man, shall I better forward, boy. Red stripe, Premier League champion, boy, score. Every goal when I run from, boy. Red stripe, Premier League champion, boy. Back down, we run the marathon, boy. The Red stripe, Premier League champion, boy, yeah, yeah.
Red Stripe Premier League of Football Monday return to your Home of Champions, and we are live from Stadium East as Cavalier Football Club take on Tivoli Gardens Football Club in a mid-table clash, with both teams hoping to make it to the playoffs this season. I am Shawana Ebanks, welcoming you back to the Home of Champions. We're going to turn our attention now and hear from the finalists. Of course, we love to hear from the fans, and they always have a lot to say. So take it away, fans.
I'm Nicholas Hamilton. Tonight I'm a fan of Cavaliers, and I've been a Cavalier player for the past 10 years. I'm here supporting my team tonight. I got to look out for players like Chevron Marsh, Ronaldo Webster, Dwayne Atkinson. We are going to win this game 3-0, Cavaliers for life.
Tivoli Garden FC supporter. Oogie, them call me as a flagman, you know. 20 years and more I support Tivoli Garden. My team, big team, from long time, 5-star general. We go for the 6-star, we make top 6 tonight. 3 we are drop. Tivoli Garden FC, big up.
So both fans are very confident, and if you're a fan watching from home, be sure to head over to our social media pages and give us your prediction and rep your team. This is where I say goodbye from the pregame show. I'm going to turn you over now to Donald Oliver and Lance Whitaker as they will take you through this game. Enjoy.
Well, we've been waiting on the return of football, and in particular football from the Red Stripe Premier League, and we're on the lights here at the National Stadium East Field. It's not a big crowd right now, but they know a number of the stars who will be on show. Veterans, some of them, and rising stars, others. And we anticipate a really good encounter between the home team Cavalier and the Tivoli Gardens FC. They would have seen quite a few interesting matches between these two teams over the years, and Tivoli Gardens, they have come to the fore on a number of occasions, having won the Premier League title on 5 occasions. Cavalier, they're still trying to add to that one title, but with the group of youngsters, can they get the better of an experienced Tivoli Gardens team? Both teams, of course, they're aiming to make it to the playoffs, but they do have some work to do. The battle between 7th and 8th, and they need the 3 points tonight in order to move up the table and stake a claim for the playoff spot. So much to look forward to as the youngsters hope to ply their wares on the field of play here at the Stadium East. And as I mentioned before, the veterans, in particular Newton Sterling, who hopes to make his mark off the bench if necessary. A team that started off pretty slowly this season will be hoping to do better and get better as the competition progresses. But we are moments away from the walkout. My name is Donald Oliver. With me is Lance Whitaker. What are you expecting from this game?
A difficult game to call, Donald, because these two teams have been a little bit unsteady all season. Tivoli displaying a little bit better form in recent weeks than this Cavalier team. They have won 3 of their last 5, this Tivoli Gardens team, whereas the Cavalier team, they have won just 1 of their last 5. But there's not a lot between these two teams. I think Cavalier would be hamstrung tonight by the absence of 2 of their most prolific goal scorers in Alex Marshall and Nicholas Hamilton. They scored 10 and 11 goals respectively last year and were by far Cavaliers' leading scorers. They are both in receipt of contracts to play in the Canadian Premier League. The Wanderers team securing Alex Marshall, and York 9 getting a hold of Nicholas Hamilton, who is still here. He hasn't travelled yet, but I think we've seen the last of him for the Cavalier team. As you saw in the panelists, he's now a fan and giving support to the Cavalier team.
There was some talk that he may have played tonight, but the work permit came through probably around 90 minutes ago. And so York 9 from Canada, they say, no, do not take the field. We want you fully fit, and they would not want to take a chance on their new signee playing against Tivoli Gardens tonight. And so with that out of the way, the players who remain will now do battle. It's a matchup that we've seen before over the years, keenly contested with goals. Both teams passionate. But as far as being on the age spectrum, this is the young bunch, while on the left, in the orange, the veterans. Usually scripts write themselves, but we have no idea how this will turn out this evening. But one thing we know, that it should be a contest between these two teams as we pause for the playing of the national anthem. So the teams will meet each other, and the formalities will be out of the way soon. Coin toss coming up next. As we take a look at the officials who will be in charge of tonight's encounter, Odell Hamilton, of course, will lead that charge. She's the one in the middle. A no-nonsense referee likes to stamp her class on the game. Of the 12 games that she's done, 2 red cards, 28 yellow cards. She'll be assisted by Jason Carr and Rolando Bennett. Christopher Mason is the 4th official. Hamilton's last international was an Olympic quarterfinal, women's quarterfinal. It was between the United States and Haiti.
So 1 high, 4L, Wolver high. Just keep it simple. I would just enjoy it.
So Cavalier, again, a pretty young lineup. You can see some of the names here. Let's go through the Food starting lineup. Jadine White returns. He's in goal. In front of him, Kamoy Simpson, Clifton Woodbine, Kyle Ming, Ramon Davis, Brian English, Malanda Maxwell, Jamar Purcell, Ronaldo Webster, Dwayne Atkinson, and Chevon Marsh.
4 changes from the team that lost to Humberland in their last outing, with White, Kamoy Simpson, Clifton Woodbine, and Dwayne Atkinson coming in. And Chevon Marsh will be at the head of things. As we said, he has been prolific this year. 9 goals so far this season, having a more central role. Last year he scored only 3 goals because he was playing a lot more flank and his role was different.
Of course, Rudolph Speed is in charge of the young men. And as far as Tivoli Gardens is concerned, this is their starting lineup. Davian Watkins in goal. In front of him, Jamie Robinson, Raniki Anderson, Barrington Price, Shavar Campbell, Kevin Garnett, Davian Garrison, Horatio Morgan, Jermaine Johnson, the veteran Jermaine Teddy Johnson, and completed by Deborah Gray and Stephen Barnett up top.
Yeah, 3 changes to the team that lost to Mount Pleasant in their last fixture, with Robinson, Price and Barrett in here for Fleming's Jabor Johnson and Trayvon Reed, who has an injury. But Barnett, who has scored all 3 matches that Tivoli have won, the last 3 matches Tivoli have won, Barnett has scored in all 3 of those games, and he is looking to get some more goals tonight. 4-4-2 formation being employed by this Tivoli Gardens team. Cavalier a 4-2-3-1.
And we're off here at the Stadium East Field with Cavalier with the possession in their traditional black and white. Of course, Tivoli Gardens in their orange. Cavalier will be kicking towards the hills, the Blue Mountains in particular. Tivoli Gardens will be kicking towards the Caribbean Sea and to downtown Kingston. And in the early stages of this one, we see that Tivoli Gardens are not afraid to press the ball high, but the long ball over the top is expected. And again, they're going to try and work the forwards who are wide, the likes of Webster, as well as Dwayne Atkinson. Webster, of course, coming from the schoolboy football level. So too Dwayne Atkinson. Real Speed not afraid to play those youngsters, as this one is delivered inside, headed away. Picked up by Jermaine Teddy Johnson, the veteran. Sends it up wide. 3 players to aim for inside the box, but couldn't get past that first defender. Good work by Kamoy Simpson out wide. There's Philip Williams. Would have been disappointed not to win a schoolboy football title with St. Andrew Technical last year. But he's hoping to help Tivoli go up the rankings in the RSPL. Another whistle on the play. Probably going to see a lot of this tonight. Chevon Marsh being cut down by Raniki Anderson. Anderson, of course, and a former Arnett Gardens player. Was in the Arnett Gardens squad that last won the title a few years back. Actually scored a goal in the final at the National Stadium, Raniki Anderson. Yeah. But on this occasion, committing the foul against Marsh was a little bit too slow. Always a stocky player, Raniki Anderson. Although he looks a bit more stocky than usual, Lance.
Yeah, he's back at Tivoli, where he had actually started before he had gone on to play for Arnett Gardens, as you said, with a championship winning team as well. But signs here that this Tivoli Gardens team, as we had suggested in the pre-game show, they're not going to allow this Cavalier team to settle and get relaxed on the ball. It's a very aggressive team, Tivoli Gardens, and they will be trying to stop Cavalier early.
There's a youngster, Dwayne Atkinson. He has a lot of speed, needs a good cross, and it's deflected behind for a corner kick. So Cavalier We expect to see that from Dwayne Atkinson. We saw it all throughout the Manning Cup season as he represented Kingston College. They won a Champions Cup, and we can see that he went into a couple gears here as he went along that left-hand side.
They're schoolboy track and field champions, aren't they?
That too. And they may well be on to another title this year.
Explosive speed there shown from Atkinson.
Here's the corner kick at the near post, and it was Camoy Simpson getting there first but couldn't quite direct it. And Davian Watkins was pleased that it went by him. But Simpson looking to be on the score sheet for the first time this season, meeting that one. And I think he was probably on his way down when he made connection with that one, and it went skywards. Here's
Yeah, Speed always struggles with keeping his players because Cavalier is known for exporting young, talented players, and he keeps having to rebuild his setup.
Well, I think that's the best way he can make money in the local football program. And I think Cavalier has found a formula. May be difficult for them to win the titles. As we see a rough challenge there coming in. It was really late, and he's feeling the effects, Horatio Morgan. I think he wanted to bail out Ramoy Davis. He desperately tried to bail out, realized that it was two-footed. I think it was half-hearted in the end there.
Very aggressive challenge there. The Tivoli Gardens man felt a lot of pain on that crunching challenge. Cavalier will know that they would have to reverse the scoreline that they've had against this Tivoli team for the first two meetings they've had back in September and December in the first and second rounds. It's been a fluctuating season for Tivoli Gardens. They lost their first 3 games of the season, but they were one of the best performing teams in the second round with 6 wins from 11.
Here's the corner kick. So the bad looking one. White was trying to get a touch on it, and Anderson was trying to stretch for it. But nothing doing there in the end.
Yeah, Anderson does create an opportunity for the teams he plays for when those set plays. Few goals that he has scored in Premier League football have pretty much all come from set plays like the one we just saw. Just arriving a little late on the back post. Good to see Jermaine Teddy Johnson still getting a starting position in this Tivoli team. He'll turn 40 years old in June, Donald, but he is such a gifted player and vastly experienced, having played for over a decade in England. He will add a lot of experience and know-how to this Tivoli setup.
Yeah, over 200 appearances for Sheffield Wednesday. Jermaine Teddy Johnson probably wanted to be a little bit more prolific during his time at Sheffield Wednesday.
Also spent time at Oldham, Bolton Wanderers and Bradford City as well before going over to the USA for the USL Pro League for a brief stint there. You can see the age on him when he plays now because he's not as nimble and fleet-footed as he would have been 10 years ago, but he still has a lot of quality and extremely good ball handling skills.
One of the more skillful footballers to have come out of Jamaica, the number 10.
Yeah, up to a few years ago was still in the national setup with coach Winfred Schaefer. Only 2 goals so far this season, Jermaine Teddy Johnson, but 3 seasons ago he scored, I think, 16 goals and was Tivoli's leading scorer.
Wasn't he a standout that season as well? At the ripe old age of 36 at the time.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a call for him to be a part of the national setup. Tivoli on the attack. That's a lovely looking ball inside the area. Still a chance for Johnson. Dinks it inside. Not the best of clearance. White comes out and gets a vital punch on it. It goes out for a corner kick. But a bit of confusion there inside the box. But Tivoli Gardens on that occasion could not capitalize.
Very silky pass back in there by Jermaine Teddy Johnson. Just an advert there of how silky and clinical his touches can be. Jadine White had to be alert in goal there for Cavalier, still just 19 years old. Jadine White.
Jamie Robinson to deliver this one. Again, not a bad looking cross. And I believe that was a defensive header. Well, apparently not. They've signaled a goal kick. So it must have come off a activity player last. But a keenly contested opening between Cavalier and the Tivoli. Stadium in Eastfield not looking its best. You can see a couple of dry areas. And, I think there was probably a little bit of rain over the past couple of days. You'd probably see a couple of damp spots as well. Of course, quite a few dents on the Stadium East pitch. Cavalier will be used to it. A lot of football is played here at the Stadium East field,
including training.
Yep. Some might say too much football is being played here.
No, that's the story of every field in Jamaica, isn't it?
Well, every good field.
Yeah.
And this was a good one. A very good one, in fact. But hardly time for it to be maintained. And there's a bit of a tussle here. And now an inquisition. Marsh in the midst of it. So to referee Audit Hamilton. I can't remember seeing referee Hamilton in the middle of a match that didn't contain drama, to be honest. There's always some. Probably most famously the RSPL final last season at the National Stadium. Here's Cavalier looking to make a transition. Ronaldo Webster needs more of the ball. He's a dangerous customer, but on that occasion could not get by Jamie Robinson, who's a former UE player. Jamie Robinson. Johnson.
Cavalier would want to be very tight at the back, Donald, because in the December meeting that they had, they were down by 3-0 by half-time, having given up a couple of early goals to Davian Garrison in the 3rd and 21st minutes. So I'm sure Coach Rudolph Speed would be impressing on his Cavalier team to be very tight, certainly at the start here, and not allow Tivoli to take control of the game, because although Cavalier came back and scored 2 second-half goals, the game was long gone in the first half when Tivoli had 3 unanswered strikes.
The other card comes out and is shown to the goal scorer that you were speaking about in that last game, David Garrison. Calvin knew exactly what he was doing, though. He was bracing for that contact, and the Garrison went right into the back of the former Bridgeport hired player. Calming. He was an outstanding schoolboy football defender, and to be honest, I expected more from him.
Yeah, captain the Bridgeport Manning Cup team back in 2017. Just recently turned 20 years old.
There's the liver inside. Here's Ming. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the battle between the experienced and the skilled as we confirm the yellow card, which was shown to Davian Garrison. Because Tivoli back line, utilizing their experience, I mean from afar you'd think that they don't look to be the fittest. This is see Price trying to make that clearance.
Good solid experience at the back there for this Tivoli Gardens team though. Defenders who have had many years of experience in the top flight, so they know what it is to succeed here. So far we've seen where this Cavalier team hasn't been able to, or hasn't been allowed by Tivoli Gardens to get their passing game going, and that's certainly one of the keys to success for this Tivoli Gardens team, to ensure that Cavalier do not enjoy the kind of comfort on the ball that will allow them to take control of the game with their passing game.
There's a delivery to the edge of the box, easily handled there. Ball switched over to the right hand side. This could be dangerous for Cavalier defending, and they were lucky in the end. The pass could have been so much better.
Tivoli showing a lot of willingness to pierce the Cavalier defense line with long passes, and that was a very, very accurate 30-yard pass played from just below the D, or just below the center circle on the left side. Anderson, one of the experienced men we've spoken about, 31 years old now.
Here's Tivoli coming forward. Needed a better pass on that occasion from Horatio Morgan. Garnett. Johnson. Trying to turn Devroy Gray. Here's Cavalier. Ming. Good work defensively by Tivoli Gardens.
I would think without Marshall and Hamilton, the transition game that Cavalier has pretty much perfected over the years would be a little bit hurt by their absence, because these players have a lot of pace, Marshall and Hamilton, and the front men in this current Cavalier setup, with the exception maybe of Atkinson, I don't think they're as fast. Marsh has pace, but I think in combination with Marshall and Hamilton, they posed a greater danger to opposing defense lines.
But I tell you what, if you look at the defense of the Tivoli Gardens, you don't expect the Cavalier strikers to be faster than those guys.
Yeah. And not only their pace, but their size and their ability to read the game because of their experience.
Yep. Wasn't too long ago that Rudolph Speed was complaining that his players were being butchered in the league. A very physical game. Almost every weekend Cavalier come up against. How do you stop that? Here's Webster, Ronaldo Webster. King needs a good cross. Still in play though. somehow. And it's kept in. Just to one person inside the box, Webster, and he wasn't really in an attacking position, although the cross wasn't the best. Tivoli Gardens getting the goal kick in the end.
Yeah, Garnet there coming back in defence and working really hard for this Tivoli team. So Tivoli looking very, very smart in their ability to recover when they lose the ball. And they're having more time on the ball as well when they're in attack. So I would say it's Tivoli that have made the more organised start.
Brian English getting away with that. Not being cautioned by referee Hamilton.
English, a good player who had spent some time at Harbour View and I think has a lot to offer in midfield for Cavalier.
He actually suffered a fractured leg last September against Harbour View. That one going right across the face of goal, but Jaden White watching it all the way.
I think he was trying to retrieve it because there was a deflection from one of his own players, so he knew that it would have been a corner. Here it is. Yeah, it came off Woodbine's, the inside of his boot. White was scrambling there to the far post, trying to prevent them giving up a corner. But I think after 20 minutes in this game, Tivoli's coaching staff will be a little bit more happy with what they've seen than Rudolph's speed for Cavalier.
This is the third corner kick for Tivoli Gardens. Here's the delivery. Not a bad one, headed out of the 6-yard box. Headed back in by Teddy Johnson, and White with the catch. Oh, nice control from Atkinson. Couldn't quite keep it in play though, Dwayne Atkinson. Cavalier will try again. Cavalier, they need to be better. They need to be better in the attacking third. I think the Tivoli defenders know that they won't necessarily win a foot race with the Cavalier strikers or attackers.
At the moment with the 4-2-3-1 formation Cavalier is using.
Oh my goodness, Ricky Anderson.
Yeah. Was it Atkinson he clashed through there?
Yep. The clash between the featherweight and the heavyweight.
Oh.
That's never fair.
Yeah, you don't want Renike Anderson crashing into you, do you? Atkinson, still a very young player, only 17 years old.
Yes, has a lot of future. Has some future ahead of him. Robinson does well.
Yeah, he's played with a lot of assurance early in this game, Jamie Robinson.
Anderson with an outlet. There's the delivery inside the box. Simpson to clear. Decides against it. Lamar Davis doesn't do well with it. Here's the shot coming in, and Jaden White in the right place at the right time. Wasn't a lot of power in the shot though. Here's Jermaine Johnson. Good move. Almost got through. Cavalier now trying to counter. Wasn't the best outlet. And that wasn't the best pass either. He was thinking of a shot. Still is. And it was a tame effort there.
Yeah, thought Maxwell had a lot of time and he was unchallenged as well, so he saw himself with an opportunity to get an unhindered shot at goal, but he didn't do well with the effort.
More spectators coming in on this Monday night. Just wanted to touch there, Shepard Marsh. We haven't seen a lot of him in the game.
No, I find that when the Cavalier team are in attack at the moment, they don't have the numbers up front to support an attack that, you know, would be fruitful. They're taking a little bit of time in getting players forward in numbers. So things are, at the moment, fairly easy for this Tivoli Gardens team at the back.
He's got there. It's Gray. Still with it, and then he lost it. Devroy Gray.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. Was onside and collected the ball well ahead of the backtracking defenders.
Here's English playing it upfield. Oh, Raniki Anderson went in pretty early there. Sold himself, but he got the worth. Flag goes up. Offside showed. Well, he has to be careful. Yeah, the other card is showed. No surprise there. And he's still talking about it. And he got the other card because of it.
That's the assistant goalkeeper, Nicholas Clark.
Just confirmed that Clark got the yellow card.
By this time in their December meeting, Tivoli were leading by 2-0 over this Cavalier team, so Cavalier would have been short up to this point in the game that they haven't fallen victim to some of the early errors that they made last time.
Good work by Barrington Price.
Yeah.
You know, Anderson, he does has a kick on him. Ming striding forward. Continues. The flag goes up. Ming gets the call.
Yeah. Garrison saw that Ming was getting away from him, and he came lunging in. I think it was Garrison's touch there that failed him, yeah. Robinson was also shadowing in the 45 shirt. There's Woodbine, probably the tallest player on the field, dropping into the box.
There's a free kick inside, and he was trying to get a touch, right? Clifton Woodbine.
Yeah, he goes sprinting up into the box for those set plays and then sprints back to assume his defensive roles when the play breaks up.
Anderson really is a fine pass of the football, isn't he? As Tivoli Gardens tried to made the sojourn inside the penalty area, and he should have done better on that occasion, Davian Garrison. Tivoli though still with it.
So the form line we spoke of, Donald, earlier on, playing true here. We mentioned that Tivoli, based on form, are coming into this fixture with a little bit more going for them. And so far they have had a lot more offensive plays than this Cavalier team.
Oh, Garrison with a lovely ball. He gets it back, Garrison, and well, his team still with the possession. Here he is looking for a good cross. It's a deflected effort, and Jadine White will at least win a goal kick, if not a free kick. No, it's a corner.
Yeah, I think White was complaining because he thought he was fouled, so he's disappointed that the call has gone against him. A player that impressed national coach Theodore Tapper-Whitmore enough to get called up to the national setup.
Here's a corner kick at the near post. They're appealing for a handball. Was it Gray at the near post there? Who missed the header? Tivoli still with the possession though. Nice 1-2. And he was being pulled back. And Stephen Barnett gets a free kick for his team in a dangerous spot. This is where Jermaine Teddy Johnson can come into the fray. Also there for Tivoli Gardens is Jamie Robinson. Will it be the right foot of Johnson or the left foot of Robinson? Cavalier through Jadine White setting up the wall.
I think this is Johnson's kick though, Teddy Johnson. 73 caps for Jamaica, 12 goals, Teddy Johnson.
Johnson or Robinson? More agreeing inside the box. Still more agreeing inside the box. Here we go. It's Johnson straight to Jadine White.
Yeah, White was well positioned there. I wanted to get the transition play going quickly, but was disappointed that the front players didn't move away quickly enough. There he's racing to try to restart the play, but didn't see any options up front. No trouble for him there because that Teddy Johnson effort didn't have much pace on it and was close enough to him.
Here's Webster. Not the best delivery for Webster. Just had the one to aim for. So all is going to be difficult. Cavalier with the majority of the possession so far, but not a lot in the attacking third. There's a Webster. He's kept that one in play. Ming. Again, not the best delivery at all. I don't think the Cavalier players will win a lot of headers inside the box.
Wow. Pretty spectacular.
He just evaded it. Just did Barnett.
Yeah. It's a Scott, assistant coach for Tivoli, isn't it?
Almost made one of his better catches.
Yeah. Scott had kept goal for Tivoli.
Play on, says the referee. And what a save that is from White. He was going in the wrong direction and had to readjust and stick out the right hand.
Yeah, that was a fine reflect save from Jadine White. Had to react very quickly. Here it is.
There was a deflection.
Yeah, Kamoy Simpson. Just throw the right arm up and parry the ball away.
But Woodbine went down really easily there, and Gray managed to get the shot off.
Yeah, Tivoli continuing to look by far the more threatening team. We just saw the possession stats there, just suggesting Cavalier 52% on the ball, but I would suggest that
they've had the possession in these areas.
Yeah, unthreatening areas. It's Tivoli that have looked far more offensively threatening. Of course, Tivoli, if they win tonight, they will displace Dunbeholden in the number 6 spot in the Premier League table. Of course, the top 6 making the playoffs. So Tivoli having a lot of hunger for a victory tonight. They will. They would join Dunbeholden on 36 points if they win, but their goal difference would be better.
He's thinking of the shot. Should have been kept to thought. Stephen Barnett, as he was seeking to get his 4th this season. He was a top striker for Hydel around 5-6 years ago. Stephen Barnett actually played for UWI last season.
Was also on the Harborview books at one point. Didn't stay too long there.
Johnson. Was there a handball there? Yep, there was.
Again, another threatening free kick here for the Tivoli Gardens team. So Cavaliers goalkeeper Jadine White and his defense line have been the hardest workers on the field so far tonight after 35 minutes, which tells the story of Tivoli pressing forward constantly.
Yeah, that had to be called. Only Jamie Robinson behind the ball now for Tivoli Gardens. There's another wall's been erected by Jadine White.
Without question, one of the most talented goalkeepers in the island at the moment, Jadine White.
Here's Jamie Robinson, and White had to punch it over. Pretty much straight at him. But again, he had to react so quickly to that fierce shot from Jamie Robinson.
It was a fine strike by Robinson. Too close to the goalkeeper though, so he didn't have to do that much. But it's been the kind of night where Jadine White may have to do a lot of work to keep Cavalier in the game.
Welcome back, Jadine White. Here's the corner kick for Tivoli Gardens. Raniki Anderson's at the back post. Rifles that into the chest of White, who holds on. Bowls it out immediately. Almost didn't have the legs to reach Chevron Marsh. Marsh needs a good outlet. Couldn't get by the first defender.
Yeah, a clear strategy about this Cavalier team. Every time he picks up the ball from a broken up set play, he's in this huge rush to get the ball upfield.
Here's Marsh. Marsh almost got the return ball. He needed to make that clearance, and he did in the end.
Yeah, Campbell with a wild-looking bicycle kick to get the clearance out. A couple of arms flayed there for the Cavalier team, thinking that Shavar Campbell's boot was too high, but I don't think it was close enough to the opposing player to be threatening.
Right, making a really good save there. And that free kick from Jamie Robinson.
Yeah, looking at it second time now, he may have been a little bit unsighted by the wall, so the ball squirted through the wall.
Free kick, late challenge there. Kemoy Simpson, and he goes into the referee's book. Mauricio Morgan looks to be disgusted at the sight of Simpson. Morgan, of course, already in the referee's book. And Kemoy Simpson joining him with that challenge, number 24. Another free kick to Tivoli Gardens, this time in a short corner position. And they've sent bodies inside the box. I count 6 inside the penalty area. Again, it's going to be delivered by Jamie Robinson. Again, it's another good delivery, but a couple of defenders were there. And was there a handball there from Jermaine Johnson? Possibly.
Yes, it was a handball. The Cavaliers' defense line continuing to be tested here by a Tivoli Gardens team that is passing well and very frequently approaching the attacking third. And I think very, very pleasing for the coaching staff of Tivoli. The only thing that they'll be upset about is that they haven't been able to make their dominance count. Darren Watkins and the Tivoli goal has hardly been given any work to do tonight. Certainly not relative to Jadine White's.
Based on the names that you see on the team sheets, and you see the Cavalier lineup in terms of potential, such an attacking force, but it hasn't been the best so far. Can something happen in this play? Nope. David Watkins has some work to do finally. And that was a poor first touch from Devoy Gray. Cavalier, you see the likes of Marlanda Maxwell, an outstanding youth player from Manchester, was a part of the Jamaica youth setup at one stage. Dwayne Atkinson, of course. Ronaldo Webster, still very much schoolboys. Webster and Wilmer's boys. Atkinson from Kingston College. Of course, Chevon Marsh would have also been an outstanding schoolboy football when he represented at Calabar quite a few years back. At the time they nicknamed him Messi. Which doesn't say a lot when it's said in the Jamaican context, if you are to be fair. But we are speaking of potential, and when you see those names you expect something special. We haven't seen it as yet tonight. And here's Messi. And there goes Messi.
Yeah, a player that I think has plateaued somewhat. He did have a short stint in Finland a few years ago, but returned to play here for Cavalier. Was part of the Jamaica setup at the Copa America Centenario back in 2016, where the Jamaicans played against Venezuela, Uruguay, and I think it was Mexico.
You have to wonder if they understand what it takes to be an elite footballer. Because based on potential, you see the skill at the youth level, and you think that's what Rudolph Speed and the management of Cavalier, they rely on, with the format that they have set up here at Cavalier, for the youngsters to bear fruit. But we are in an era where teenagers are proving themselves at the international level. So it's I find a little bit irritating when the coaches say that you have to be patient with them. Not with how the world is going right now, not with how the world of football is going, not with what these fans expect, especially when they compare what they're seeing tonight with what they see on their television screens at the international level. Flag has gone up for offside. Gray, nice movement. Trying to turn but couldn't turn on Clifton Woodbine. Now here's Ronaldo Webster looking for some movement himself. Maxwell looking for options. They'd want to move the ball quicker. Marsh. Marsh gets a free kick.
Yeah, the Tivoli captain Price putting pressure on him from behind there.
Ming thinking of a shot and takes it over the bar.
Yeah, Purcell not one with a track record of scoring goals. Off target there with the effort, part of the Jamaica College Manning and Olivia Shield winning team back in 2015. Also played with Sandals FC when they made their brief sojourn in the top flight.
Just the one season in it, right?
Yes.
They went right back south.
Even though they're in the west. No goals yet, Donald, but these two teams haven't had a scoreless game since, I think, April 2017 when they had met in the playoffs 3 seasons ago.
Here's Webster. Referee Hamilton has seen enough. Not a lot to write home about, if we are to be honest. In the first 45 minutes. Jaden White, though, has been in good form. Has had to make a couple of stops. We expect more from Chevon Marsh and the Cavalier attackers, who have been thwarted by the Tivoli Gardens defense so far. Philip Williams. We'll be hoping that his team probably are a little bit more enterprising come second half. They've held the fort quite well in this first half. After 45 minutes, it's Cavalier 0, Tivoli Gardens 0.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a sing anthem too. Red stripe, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run marathon boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah.
Round of 16 action in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League begins on Tuesday, February 18th. And Flow Sports will hop over to Kingston, Jamaica, where the Caribbean's only flag bearer will be in action. Jamaica and Caribbean champions Portmore United will face the acid test when they come up against one of Mexico's finest, the 6-time winners Cruz Azul, in a first leg encounter.
Defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this piece of play. Ooh, I'm gone.
No goals after 45 minutes in this fixture here between Cavalier and Tivoli Gardens. Cavalier in 8th position at the moment, Tivoli in the number 7 spot, and both trying to target a playoff spot. Dunbeholden in 6th spot, their nearest target. Not a lot to write home about in the first half. Tivoli Gardens having a lot more playing the attacking third, and Jadine White has been by far the busier of the two goalkeepers. Woodbine slips there, and a one-handed save there as Devroy Gray got the left-footed strike on goal. But Jadine White reacts quickly. The deflection from Kamoy Simpson, you see it here, and White reacted really quickly to punch the ball away with his right arm. Here he's again, this time with his left arm, knocking the ball over from a Jamie Robinson free kick that ripped through the wall, and the 19-year-old goalkeeper had to be alert. Not much in the first half for Cavalier. Jamal Purcell, former Jamaica College standout, having a crack from distance, but doesn't threaten David Watkins in the Tivoli Gardens goal. 4 shots attempted on goal by Tivoli Gardens, 3 of them on target. No shots on target from Cavalier, even though they had 3 tries. 14 fouls in the match so far, 8 of them to Cavalier teams. Tivoli 2 yellow cards and 1 yellow for the Cavalier team. 5 corners forced by this Tivoli Gardens team, who have looked a lot more offensive and a lot more organized in their attack than the Cavalier team, although Cavalier have had slightly more ball possession for a half-time break. Let's go to Shawana Banks in field.
Thank you so much, Donald. So no goals in the first half, and it still speaks to the inconsistency we have been seeing with both teams. The last time they played this time around, Tivoli Gardens were already 3 goals up, but let's see what will happen in the second half. And though you've seen no goals so far, we have a little package that we've put together for you, and it's going to show you the red hot plays from the second round.
Oh, delightful pass across. Campbell, can he get a shot off? Campbell! What a goal! Norman Campbell strikes his 4th goal of the season.
Oh, excellent pass by Orland Hardy. We just said he was our man of the match, but maybe he has to move over and give that award to Norman Campbell. What a finish off the left foot.
Brilliant goal! Come on, Malcolm! 5 goals in 5 matches.
Look at Neil, run to retrieve, gathers the ball, steadies himself, picks out Kemal Malcolm, a bullet header near post, no chance, Kadeem Davis.
Taylor with a strike, punched over by Rodriguez. Fine save by the 19-year-old.
But I always suspected that Evan Taylor would be the one to strike it. Bending all the time, with the goalkeeper's positioning again good.
Edwards does. Tipped over by Davis.
In the middle of his goal.
Yeah. Taylor. Fine effort as well, and here comes Taylor with a fine save. Fine effort there from Mark Miller. Sims. Wilson wants it back. Arnott on fire. Big shot. Oh, what a strike from Nesbitt. Arnott 3-0 up on Cavalier. The build-up looks smart. Look at the chip pass here from Wilson. He wants the ball back, calls for it. Sims gets it back. The cross, and look at Big Nesbitt. That was a bullet from the left boot. McDonald breaks free for Harbourview. Oh, delightful pass to the left. Campbell!
Look at Campbell on the turn. Bevita McDonald gives him an excellent option, running to his right, then just hangs it up, inviting Campbell to volley home.
Now Reed. Good cross inside. Brilliant goal! Kamal Malcolm strikes for Arnott Gunnins.
Reed sets himself, fashions the left-footed cross, and nobody saw the blur of black and red steaming in, a.k.a. Kemal Malcolm.
Here comes Beckford. Can he strike left footed? He does! Deflection! Goal number 3 on the night! Beckford with a double! 10 goals on the season for Kemal Beckford!
Well, let's see if that one seemingly was on target, but the minute he got that under his spell, Beckford, he wanted to shoot.
Samuels to the far post, heads going up. What a strike! Romeo Guthrie! The 21-year-old scores his second goal of the season.
Samuels with the cross. The header, ineffectual. Stiff-rise header. The second header from Jeremy Nelson on the volley. Oh my, did he catch that brilliantly well. Nothing but net in the pigeonhole, as they say. A sweet strike, the kind of strike he'll feel even when he wakes up, bounds out of bed in the morning.
What a red-hot strike from the former Charlie Smith player Romeo Guthrie, and surely it is one of the contenders, though the season is not finished yet, for goal of the season, because that was an absolute beauty. All right, we have more Red Stripe Premier League Monday Night Football coming up next week on the Home of Champions, of course, on Sportsmax 2. The Stars of the East, Harborview, welcome Veer United. We are live at 7:30, 8:30 ECT. NBA action on Sportsmax Thursday at 8 p.m. 9 ECT. The Brooklyn Nets play Philadelphia 76ers. And the Houston Rockets take on the Golden State Warriors Thursday at 10:30 p.m., 11 ECT on Sportsmax. And La Liga is on Sportsmax 2 when Levante play Real Madrid Saturday at 3 p.m. 4 ECT. It is 0-0 here at Stadium East Football Field between Cavalier and Tivoli Gardens FC. We have second half action when we return. Stay tuned right here on the Home of Champions. This is Red Stripe Football Mondays.
Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League begins on Tuesday, February 18th. And Flow Sports will hop over to Kingston, Jamaica, where the Caribbean's only flag bearer will be in action. Jamaica and Caribbean champions Portmore United will face the acid test when they come up against one of Mexico's finest, the 6-time winners Cruz Azul, in a first leg encounter starting at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Jamaica time. So make it a date. Tuesday, February 18th at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Jamaica time. Portmore United versus Cruz Azul in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League.
Hard to break down, but they're working their way with these passes.
Now it's Freighter who goes for goal, and it rolls over the line. Freighter with a shot from about 45 yards away.
Here's Portmore United going forward, going to the byline, needs a good cross. Oh, it's there, almost saved by Jacomina Barrett. Tried to flick that inside.
Boy, go. Man, I pour them a sing Anthem. Red Stripe, watch out. Man, shall I better forward, boy. Red Stripe, Premier League champion, boy. Score. Every goal when I run from, boy. Red Stripe, Premier League champion, boy. Now, talk down, we run marathon, boy. The Red Stripe, Premier League champion, boy. Yeah, yeah.
Back at Stadium East Football Field as we look ahead to the second half between Cavalier and Tivoli Gardens FC. 0-0 in the first half, but we still have another 45 minutes of play to change that. So hopefully we will see some excitement and magic in the second half. My name is Shawana Ebanks, and I turn you over to the commentary team who will take you through Donald Oliver and Lance Whitaker.
Thanks, Shawana. Well, hope springs eternal in the human breast. And we do hope that the second half is much better than the first. It was dour to say the least, between Cavalier and Tivoli Gardens. And with so much brand names, with so much young stars, and there we see risen stars as well, a part of the setup here tonight. We expected much better, and we haven't seen it so far. But 45 minutes to come, we expect a change, as both teams, of course, they don't want to make a mistake. They're still very much harboring hopes of making it into the top 6 and have a chance to contest the playoffs, the battle between 8 and 7 at the moment. But Lance, certainly changes have to be made, if not in personnel, surely in mentality.
Yeah, I would suspect that Jaden White is proving to be a handful for the Tivoli Gardens attackers, because they've had enough action in front of goal to suggest that they could have scored. But White is in form, and he looks as if he's set for a big night tonight. But you know what? The team closest to them here in the table, the 6th team, Dunbeholden, they've been winless in their last 3 matches. So these results for Dunbeholden should be encouraging for Tivoli and Cavalier. Dunbeholden's stutter toward the start of the 3rd round here should provide an opportunity for Tivoli and Cavalier to get closer to them and push for a playoff spot.
So the second half is on the way. It is going to be Tivoli Gardens will be kicking towards the Blue Mountain Range, and Cavalier will be aiming towards the Caribbean Sea. And here they are, come charging now. Marsh inside. Oh, that's a fabulous save with his foot. Really a good save by David Watkins. Malanda Maxwell with a big chance for Cavalier just seconds after the resumption. And I don't know, that was in his stride, Lance.
Yeah, best chance of the night here for Cavalier. Delightful pass from the captain, Siobhan Marsh. But I thought Maxwell played that a little bit too close to the goalkeeper. Should have probably chipped him maybe, because the goalkeeper was pretty low, but he'd be disappointed he didn't hit the net from there.
Went for the easier option, I thought, but probably just need a little bit of power.
Yeah.
Watkins, he hasn't been asked a lot of questions tonight, but the first time of asking, he came up trumps. Here's the corner kick at the near post, and it's headed away. And that should be a throw into Tivoli Gardens. But that could have been some start for Cavalier.
Yeah. Uncharacteristic of the Tivoli Gardens team, certainly from what we saw in the first half, to just have the Cavalier attacking men just run through their middle in the way that they just did.
But they were a bit off the pace in the first half, Cavalier. On that occasion, Tivoli actually lost the ball in their own half, and Cavalier almost capitalized on the counter. They are usually dangerous on the counter-attack, Cavalier. So it's nothing that we haven't seen, but still a big opportunity that should have been taken. Here's Tivoli Gardens through Horatio Morgan. Gets a nice return ball from Johnson. There's a collision there. Morgan actually gets the free kick for his team. Don't see a lot of complaints being made, only from Purcell.
Yeah, that was a threatening build-up there for the Tivoli team. They passed their way out of trouble until this connection. Yeah, Purcell coming in pretty hard there, it seemed, and Morgan feeling the pressure.
Jamie Robinson delivers this one inside and didn't quite reach Raniki Anderson. Oh, Marsh being outrun by Jermaine Johnson. We don't want to put that one on the resume. Good work from English. That's a wonderful ball that was read at the last minute, or was there a high boot there? Referee says play on. And play does continue. A shot from distance had to be punched over. Wow. Was that Maxwell again? It was Purcell, the former Jamaica College man, with the effort from distance, and again Watkins being asked to make a sublime stop.
So I'm not sure what Coach Rudolph Speed would have told this Cavalier team at the halftime break, but they have certainly come out here in the second half looking a lot more clinical and through the center of the field, channeling more of their plays there. That looked impressive.
Here's the corner kick. Headed away. Cavalier will try again. Too much on it. Nobody there to collect for Cavalier. Well, that was a nice long ball. Stephen Barnett under pressure. Under too much pressure.
So we were commenting in the first half that Davin Watkins, the Tivoli Gardens goalkeeper, had pretty much no work to do in the first half.
And he's made a couple of saves.
Yeah.
Putting that one to deny Purcell.
And then the foot save.
Yeah, before that.
From the Maxwell effort.
Long throw inside the box. And White had to react.
Yeah, there goes Jaden White again, apparently upset that his players aren't breaking free for the transition play to get started. You see him do it all the time when he picks the ball up. He sprints forward, looking to get the play restarted as quickly as possible, but doesn't see the players offering themselves.
He was upset with Atkinson, Dwayne Atkinson on that occasion. And to be fair, we haven't seen a lot of Atkinson in this game. There he is, still trying to make the transition to the senior level. Dwayne Atkinson was the focal point of the Kingston College team. He did really well last year, won the Champions Cup. Well, here he is now. Atkinson couldn't quite get the ball under his spell. Oh, he does really well, Dwayne Atkinson. Gets by a second defender, plays it inside, looking for the return. Didn't quite come his way from his skipper. And it was disappointing in the end. Cavalier, I think they found another gear in the second half. They're playing some good football. Ming. Fouled.
Yeah, Robinson just sticking his boot out and stopping Ming, who was charging away down the right side. Robinson is suggesting some kind of innocence, but he definitely presented himself there and stopped Ming. Yeah, there it is, the late challenge. The ball had already gone. No choice the referee had but to give a free kick on that play.
I think his defense was that he just took his leg out.
But this Cavalier team, Donald, is looking a lot different here. There's Alex Marshall, is he? Yeah, I guess he'll be hitting for pre-season Wanderers in Canada pretty soon.
Oh, that's not a bad looking cross. It's headed away by Jermaine Johnson, who's been everywhere. The veteran for Tivoli Gardens, helping out in defense on that occasion.
Turn on mark, guard. Turn on mark, Tivoli.
Yep, in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Tivoli Gardens failed to make the playoffs last year.
They reached the playoffs back in 2017-2018 when Cavalier eliminated them in the quarterfinal
Mings trying
stage.
to deliver, and Rennie Anderson putting it into touch, yeah.
So, from that standpoint, they may have a score to settle with Cavalier as well.
The players stay up for Cavalier. Webster, did he get a last touch? Yeah, he did.
St. Elizabeth Technical stand out in the Costa Cup football before switching over to Wolmer's in the Manning Cup.
I want to ask you a question, Lance, probably after this play, because you would have seen a lot of football over the years. Have you ever seen a schoolboy footballer make the transition easily to the next level? Even if we were to look at the first few games that he would have played, even if he didn't quite go all the way?
I would think Walter Boyd fit that bill for sure. Maybe Lenny Hyde as well from the 77 Clarendon College team. There would have been a few others too. I remember a couple of Rossi's players who slipped into the Reno setup with some level of comfort.
Challenge was late there. Simpson has to be careful. He's already in the referee's book. I think that was a last chance saloon. Well, that's too long.
Yeah, so the sort of precision with which Tivoli advanced in the first half, we're not seeing that now. We're seeing more of that coming from this Cavalier team, so the game is evening out a bit, and Cavalier are looking a lot more threatening here in the second half than they did in the first. And their attacks have been coming through the middle, unlike the first half when they attempted more flank plays.
Which to me didn't make any sense because they don't necessarily have the height inside the box, which would be the result of the flank plays.
And they're not getting numbers up front when they advance either. Webster getting the ball through the legs of Robinson there, but the whistle had already gone.
That doesn't count, Lance.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, very competent defending there from Price.
It's been easy sometimes for the Tivoli Gardens team, especially in that first half, but you get the impression that they're forced to play a little bit quicker because Cavalier, they are applying that pressure and that press.
Purcell playing really well tonight.
Ball switched over to the far side and Ronaldo Webster is there. That was a late challenge coming in. You could hear the scream from here. He collided with his knee. Jamie Robinson. Who's got away with a couple of challenges, Robinson. Wondering how many more chances he'll get.
Yeah, that was naughty without being violent, so I guess referee Hamilton didn't look too unkindly on that play.
I think she's adding them up though. Here's a corner kick, or the free kick rather. There now is the goal kick. Cavalier just wasted that last bit of play. They're giving up the ball. Oh goodness. Davis.
Yeah, Garnett putting pressure there on Maxwell and forcing the error. Maxwell, a player with a lot of potential.
Johnson, oh what a ball that is, but the flag has gone up. Offside against Gray.
Yeah, that was a defense splitting long pass through the middle, and for a moment there the Cavalier defenders looked a little bit stretched.
Jermaine Johnson playing the quarterback role really well in this Tivoli team.
Cavaliers still holding more ball possession advantage with 52%.
But in more ominous errors on this occasion.
Yeah.
They had the majority of the possession for much of that first half. But they've been much more dangerous in the second, Cavalier.
Yeah, not good,
to say the least.
Yeah, there's been a lot of untidiness about periods of the game that we've seen so far tonight. And I want to mention that although Tivoli Gardens are threatening or challenging for a playoff spot, their offensive game really hasn't been clicking this season. Well, the top 8 teams, Tivoli have been the joint least in the goal scoring list with 28, with Dunbeholden. All of the other top teams have scored more than they have. Nothing for the fans to be excited about yet.
Maybe this play? Maybe not.
There were some exciting moments with Jadine White called into action in the Cavalier goal in the first half, but apart from a few Cavalier efforts on goal since the second half started, hasn't been that much.
Bramore Davis looking for options, forced to go back. Anderson using his size to good effect. Well, that wasn't the best first touch, and Atkinson almost got there. Watkins almost putting himself in all sorts of contortions on that occasion.
Yeah, and he's got to watch the speed of Atkinson, the 17-year-old who charged onto him in a flash. Had to scramble the ball away.
Oh, that's a nice pullback. Maxwell to Atkinson, deflected effort, and in! Dwayne Atkinson will take that one. So too Cavalier. He bought the ticket and won won the lottery. And Cavalier in the 64th minute, they take the lead 1-0 over Tivoli.
I think Watkins in goal for the Tivoli Gardens team will feel that he has to take responsibility for that, because it was his initial play that brought the pressure on. A deflected strike popped up into the air. Atkinson reacting really well there. Very sharp, nimble football from Atkinson there, because there wasn't a lot of room for him to work with. He got onto the ball. They were Tivoli Gardens defenders closing in on him, but he was able to whip the shot off very quickly and got the deflected goal. Very fine effort there by the 17-year-old. So Cavalier vastly improved in the second half after we'd have to say almost a non-effort in the first half. They have worked hard enough here for the lead they now have.
Another youngster has come on, by the way, another Kingston College youngster. Trayvon Reed comes on for Tivoli Gardens, replacing Horatio Morgan. Here's Cavalier once more. English couldn't go forward with that one. Turn from Gray. Trying to get Steve Barnett involved. And Jadine White does a little work to eat up some time.
Good skill by Webster.
A very nice turn that was from Jamie Robinson, and that's put into touch.
Tivoli will now have to work hard to get back into the game, a game that they had looked in control of in the first half, but things have really reversed in the second half for them, because Cavalier have improved their game a lot and have looked very threatening here in the second half. Cavalier, and I'd have to say, have earned their lead.
It's amazing what a little enterprise can do, because they didn't show any of it in the first half. Of course, Nicholas Clark was cautioned earlier, protesting an offside decision. White holds on.
Cavalier with a victory tonight will displace Tivoli Gardens in 7th spot and move within a point of a playoff spot at the last playoff spot at the moment, held by Dunbeholden.
Here's Marsh with the effort, and Barrington Price again in the right place, blocking the attempt. That's whipped inside. A chance for Ronaldo. Webster!
Oh, that was a fine effort there from Webster. Really fine effort. Caught onto that ball well. Difficult to get a hold of that shot and get it on target, but if we get an opportunity to see that again, we'll see how effective his technique was in getting over the ball and getting a shot on goal, just snuffed out by the Tivoli defender who got in his way.
Well, controlled. It wasn't going goal.
Oh, it wasn't going goal.
It was going well wide.
Yeah, from the angle, it looked as if it was on target. But he got over it well. He just didn't direct it on goal.
Yeah, I had my suspicion about the shot. Johnson going through defenders. Beautiful movement by Tivoli Gardens. And decided not to run after that one. Gray.
Yeah, he was offside.
In an outside position. Oh, they've given up possession. And Cavalier, they return the favor through Atkinson. And now Tivoli, they switch the play. The youngster, Trayvon Reed on it. Has some space to work with. Reed tripped outside the box. Nothing doing, says referee Hamilton. Reed cannot believe the call.
I'm not sure what happened there. There must have been a touch there on him for him to go down the way he did.
If not, he should get a yellow card for diving, right?
Yeah, initially it looked as if the player hadn't reached him yet when he fell, but see what happened here. Webster getting close to him.
Probably the correct call.
Yeah, he appears to be going down before he was touched.
But was he looking for it? If he was looking for it, he should have been carded. Conflicted about that one. I'm not sure if it was a deliberate dive, but could have been on his way down before the contact was made.
There's McGregor, a man on the Tivoli Gardens roster, but not on the playing roster tonight.
You know, I like Junior McGregor as a player. Let's take a look at what happened there with Brian English.
Well, as you mentioned earlier on, he had a fractured ankle earlier on this season. There's Sean Laws from Waterhouse, big central defender, and
used to play his trade at Cavalier as well, right?
Yeah, he was a Cavalier man. He also played at Reno and Barbican.
He's been around. Cavalier players warming up. Appears to be Orlando Brown on the left. Former Jamaica College player. This one played inside the box. Kept in play wonderfully. Should have been provider on that occasion as opposed to going for the glory himself, I think.
Woodbine challenging well there.
Indeed. Maxwell continued his run.
Good defensive work by Garnett. He's played well tonight. Garnett has been really busy as well.
Oh, Teddy. He still loses class, Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, his ball handling skills haven't really left him. With his speed and some aspects of his agility. At 39 years old, but his ball handling skills and his vision still A-class.
Gray. Johnson. Couldn't keep it in play. Shavar Campbell, here he is. David Garrison is coming off for Tivoli Gardens. Clinton Ashley comes on.
Garrison worked hard tonight, but wasn't unsung tonight. Certainly not as much as he was last December when he scored twice in the 3-2 victory for Tivoli Gardens.
Jermaine Johnson with space in front of him, sends it out wide. That's a good ball to Gray. Gray cuts inside, can shoot! Fabulous save by White! Second attempt in the back of the net! And they're back! And it's another KC youngster on the score sheet! He's always a super sub! Trayvon Reed with the equalizer! It's 1-1 at Stadium East.
Trayvon Reed would have been a teammate of Atkinson, wouldn't he have been, for the 2018 Manning Cup winning team for Kingston College. Delightful pass there from Teddy Johnson. Gray does really well. What a brilliant save that was from Jaden White. He couldn't fend off the rebound. Reed with a fierce strike. And Jaden White, second time, wasn't able to stop the second strike. 1-1. Guess this is an even score because Tivoli played so well in the first half. You could argue that they didn't deserve to be trailing in the second. I did mention earlier on that it's very rare that these two teams play nil-all scorelines.
Well, that was a purple goal. That was a royal strike from Trayvon Reed. Tivoli back in this one with about 15 minutes to go.
Well, this would be a result if it ends at 1-1. That would favor Dunbeholden, who would retain a 2-point advantage over Tivoli Gardens. Dunbeholden would not want Tivoli to win tonight. Watkins does really well there, just snatching the ball away from the onrushing Watkins. And Campbell is hurt from the play. He looks to be in a lot of pain, Campbell. Not sure if he twisted his leg there, or if he got a blow that's causing the pain. That jerky Teddy Johnson pass down the right of the middle channel. Delroy Gray latched onto him. His powerful shot was well saved initially by Jaden White, but he couldn't keep out the rebound.
Well, two youngsters have been involved in the goals. Dwayne Atkinson, not sure that will be credited to him. Huge deflection, found the back of the net. Cavalier with the lead.
I think it was his goal. I would have given him the goal.
And then it was a wonderful build-up by Tivoli Gardens. White saving Gray's attempt, but he could do nothing about that. Absolute firecracker from Trayvon Reed. And it was 1-1 here at the Stadium East. Davis losing out. Tivoli Gardens. Well, the yellow card will come out and is shown to Cavaliers number 18, Jamar Purcell.
Yeah, took one for the team there. The pace at which Gray was speeding through the middle looked really threatening, and Purcell decided to stop him. Neither of these two teams would want to give up a goal with less than 12 minutes to go. after working so hard to get something from the game.
Clash of the 18s there, and Purcell goes into the referee's book because of this challenge. Sent Devroy Gray flying.
It's Kimara Fleming's now on for Tivoli Gardens in the right back position. It's one of...
Was it Shavar Campbell who came off?
I think so.
It's been a very physical game so far, but just 4 yellow cards been shown. Yeah, I think it's Shavar Campbell who is off for Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah, he got injured there, and yeah, there he is. He didn't return, so looking to have an ankle injury. Certainly looks of a left leg injury, and the Fleming's now on for him.
Here's a chance for Tivoli Gardens. Reed was waiting on it to drop in his favor. Johnson goes down. There's a free kick to Tivoli Gardens. Johnson seems to be in a lot of pain. But sometimes nothing is what it appears to be. We have seen this script before.
Yeah, both of them went challenging for the ball, and Purcell is claiming innocence there.
I mean, he has to. He just went into the referee's book.
Yeah. But both of them swung at the ball, and I think Johnson was certainly jarred there by the challenge.
Tivoli, mind you, they've made their 3 changes so far. So they're praying and hoping that Teddy Johnson will be able to continue. But he's a tough customer, isn't he?
There's Jabbar Johnson, who was one of the Tivoli Gardens men that didn't make the roster tonight after playing against Mount Pleasant last week. Yeah, so a bit of a limp there for the 39-year-old, but he's a warrior. I'm pretty certain he'll be anxious to get himself back in.
They probably would have wanted to take this free kick. It's in an ideal position to go over the wall and under the bar. Trayvon Reed is behind this. So too is Jamie Robinson.
Yeah, this might be Reed's kick though.
Free kick to Tivoli. It's Trayvon Reed over the top. Dipped late.
Yeah, it did. One of the 2 teenagers to have scored tonight. And one of 2 Kingston College men to have scored tonight. So schoolboys making headlines in the Red Stripe Premier League.
Which is what you'd like to see. Them stepping up to the level, them making their mark in the Red Stripe Premier League. Of course, the likes of Jermaine Teddy Johnson would like to guide and light their way. Clinton Ashley trying to get that one for Tivoli Gardens and doing well against Ramoy Davis, who eventually has to put it into touch. Trying to keep his footing there, and does Clinton Ashley.
Three teenagers in the Cavalier starting roster tonight. There is Webster, Atkinson,
Davis gets a throw.
A couple of 20-year-olds as well, Ming and Woodbine.
Don't know why I thought Kyle Ming was older. Probably because he was playing in the schoolboy football system for quite some time. He was good at a really young age, being part of that Bridgeport Manning Cup team.
Only turned 20 last a couple of weeks ago. He's a January man. There he is.
Oh, not bad then.
Yeah. Well, Simpson just clutching onto his hamstring. There is right hamstring.
Probably because that was falling off.
Okay. I remember him having a hamstring injury some time ago in the Premier League.
Marsh.
Yeah, too much weight on the pass from Marsh. They're looking for Ming on the flank. So just over 5 minutes remaining here, and both teams have worked really hard for a result. At the moment, I would think this is a reasonable score. Tivoli dominant in the first half. Cavalier very much improved in the second half.
Oh, nice ball. Ashley with the touch. Trying to get by his marker and committing the foul there, Clinton Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley was trying to be smart there. He already had the momentum with the pace, so he thought if he knocked the ball around, he would have had the advantage in the run to retrieve the ball. But didn't bargain for a second Cavalier player coming back to help out in defense. Yeah, there he did say. Actually knocked Davis over.
He wasn't going to take his chance on Kamoy. Simpson was running across.
Beautiful first touch from Barnett.
Yep, was. And now here's Gray on his left foot. Trayvon Reed has a lot of work to do, but he gets there. Has Ming in front of him. Delivers inside. Quick movement inside the box. Played out to Teddy Johnson. Teddy Johnson! Teddy Johnson! Off the bar!
Well, that would have been the goal of the night if it came off. Could have been the winner for Tivoli, and Johnson high with the ball onto the post.
He almost turned back the years and was inches away from something spectacular.
Well, that was trademark Jermaine Teddy Johnson. We spoke about his ball handling skills. And look at how he just weaves his way through a wall of Cavalier defenders. 4 of them left.
Oh my goodness.
In his wake. But unfortunately for him, his shot too high.
He still has it, Lance. He still has it. That was brilliant. The Cavalier defenders were like cones. Players only dream of doing that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of players do. Marlando Maxwell is off. Ajay Chin is on for Cavalier.
I remember Ricardo Fuller, who also played for Tivoli Garden, scoring a goal like that for Stoke City in the English Premier League, didn't he?
Yep, he did. Ball played out wide and couldn't quite provide the pass on that occasion. Kemar Flemings. Raniki Anderson will go into the referee's book for the challenge on the youngster who has just come on the field of play. There's Ajay Chin. He's up and away. and he was almost away from Anderson.
Yeah. Chin, a former Manchester High standout.
Replacing another Manchester High standout in Maxwell. Long ball delivered inside, and that was too much work for Chin to do. Price was in his way. Just to confirm the other card to Raniki Anderson. Can we still have a winner? I actually think so. Flemings delivers this one inside, across to Reed. Trayvon Reed has taken some inspiration from Jermaine Johnson, and almost, well, he did win a corner, did he?
I'm not sure if he has, maybe.
You know, it's almost time to speak about the man of the match, but in a match that we haven't seen a lot of quality in, Jermaine Johnson has done quite a few little things right.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in just a moment. As Tivoli mopping up at the back. 4 minutes of stoppage time to be played. I'm not sure if he's got a foot wrong in his passing. We've seen him in the defensive third, and here he's in the attacking third with a lovely ball out wide, and it's going to be a corner kick to Tivoli Gardens. There was a deflection on it.
I'm not sure why Gray didn't attack that ball, because it was floating in his direction. He was a little tentative, it seemed.
Here's Reed trying to play it through the defender's legs. Roy Davis was having none of it. Throw into Tivoli Gardens. And all of a sudden you think that the momentum is with Tivoli to snatch this one at the end. Ball played inside the box. He's looking for the spectacular. Now it goes the other way. Ajay Chin being manhandled, but Cavalier coming forward. All good speed. Dwayne Atkinson cutting inside. Plays it across. It's a chance for Marsh, and it just got away from him. The Cavalier captain with a chance there.
Yeah, that could have been the winner. Atkinson with a delightful move on the left side there. Good cross inside. Fell, I thought, well for Marsh, but somehow he didn't take control of the ball.
Probably. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. An awkward bounce as Davis sends this one too long. And it goes behind. No, not yet. Kept in play by Raniki Anderson. Challenge coming in from Chin on Jamie Robinson. This is now Trayvon Reed. Midway stoppage time. Clinton Ashley now. Ashley. Well, Gray was going in one direction and Ashley provided him the pass into the other direction. Nice movement. Chin. Play being called back for the kick on Kyle Ming.
Close call here for the man of the match. As he said, it hasn't been a high quality game. Jermaine Teddy Johnson hasn't done a lot wrong. He has been a part of a lot of the most exciting moments of the match, including his pass that eventually led to the Tivoli Gardens goal, and the delightful skill that he showed before he hit the crossbar. Jadine White, this man, outstanding in the first half in goal for the Cavalier team, prevented Tivoli from scoring then. So for my bet, it's between those two.
Ball delivered inside the box and easily taken by Davian Watkins, who's had to come to the party in the second half for Tivoli Gardens as well.
Yeah, less than a minute left now.
Oh, the throw taken quickly. It was great clipped. Well, still has it. It's at the back post, and Reed's first touch wasn't the best. Lawrence, or Robinson rather, and the whistle goes, free kick to Tivoli Gardens.
I guess this will be the final play of the match, or final significant play of the match.
Some way out. I don't think a direct shot will be taken. Players are up. Sends this one inside the area, and it bounces in an awkward area. It's going to be a goal kick. Raniki Anderson again was lurking.
Yeah, there's Anderson coming up for that set play, which he usually sets up himself well for goal scoring opportunities.
Well, that's the end of the match. Dwayne Atkinson was on the score sheet for Cavalier. Then they replied through Trayvon Reed. Tivoli Gardens. White has been outstanding, especially in the first half for Cavalier. And Jermaine Johnson has been consistent throughout, and almost ended up with a magical play, which would have been the winner in this contest. Didn't see a lot of quality in this game, but it was a hard-fought battle in the end. And after 90 minutes, they share the spoils. Cavalier 1, Tivoli Gardens 1.
Mr. One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a sing anthem too. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man, shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run marathon boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.
So after 90 minutes, Cavalier 1, Tivoli Gardens 1. And we'll take a look at action in this match between these two teams, and there was not a lot of goal-mouth activity in that first half. And a chance here is Barnett's effort was saved by Jadine White, or rather Devor Gray. His left-footed shot took a deflection, and White had to readjust and make the save.
Yeah, that was a neat save. He had just a split second.
And then this free kick, straight to White, parried over the bar. That attempt from Jamie Robinson. Then Cavalier with this quick play, and he should have done better, Marlanda Maxwell. That was seconds into the second half, Lance.
Yeah. This was just after the half when Cavalier came out looking a different team.
And they pursued for that goal. That from distance, parred over, came from Purcell. And David Watkins saw it all the way, making the save. And then Atkinson's deflected effort goes into the back of the net. Nothing Watkins could have done about that one in goal. And Cavalier took the lead.
Yeah, very, very smart effort there by the teenager who had Tivoli defenders converging on him.
Still not sure if that was actually goalwards from Atkinson. But look at this build-up from Tivoli Gardens. It's Gray with the effort. Fabulous save from Jadine White. And then the follow-up by Trayvon Reed. And not a lot White could have done about that one, but the build-up by Tivoli Gardens was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I saw him in his school days Jaden White making a lot of double saves like that, where he makes one save, the rebound comes, he has to make another save. He wasn't able to do it then, though.
And we've seen some brilliant stuff in the RSPL, and this would have been the goal of the season, but it wasn't.
Yeah, huge disappointment there for Teddy Johnson. He got rid of English, Purcell, Simpson, Woodbine, all four of them gone. Oh, that would have looked so good if it finished in the net.
My goodness, just too high.
Yeah. He did the hard part well, successfully, and then in the end it wasn't that difficult to score, but he just hit it too high.
Yep. 1 of 8 shots for Tivoli Gardens, 5 on target. Cavalier with 9 shots, 4 on target. 28 fouls were committed in this one, just the 5 yellow cards shown. 3 offside against Tivoli Gardens, just the 1. The Cavalier's name. 10 corner kicks, 6 in favor of Tivoli Gardens. And there are 4 saves made by Cavalier, 2 by Tivoli Gardens, who had 49% of the possession. So Anna Banks is downstairs. She has her MVP.
Thank you, Donald. That is right. Our MVP this evening is Jaden White, the goalkeeper at Cavalier. Congratulations. What a way to stamp your return to Cavalier Football Club.
I'm really happy. Whenever you get the chance to play for somewhere that your heart really is, you have to show that this is where you want to be.
And you're very pleased with your performance here tonight. And how pleased and happy are you to be back here? You just talk about how your heart is here. How happy are you to be back here? I'm
overwhelmed because it's been long. I've been this happy with my team. Even last night we were vibing and I was like, Jono, this has been a long year. I really missed it here, and I think my performance showed here tonight. I think I could have done better with the goals still, but it's just one of those things I have to learn from.
All right. Congratulations on being named MVP. All the best at Cavalier.
Thanks very much.
Jaden White there, our MVP tonight of Cavalier Football Club. Philip Williams is the coach at Tivoli Gardens Football, and I just saw him greet Jaden. He used to coach Jaden back at St. Andrew Technical High School. I know you came out here for the win tonight. It was a crucial game. The 3 points was needed. Where did you go wrong tonight?
I don't think we did much wrong tonight. If you look at the table, these two teams are very close where all the statistics are concerned, and I think the game played out as such. It was a tight game, very competitive game, and I think both teams did well.
And when you saw Jermaine Teddy Johnson got that opportunity to seal the deal tonight, but hitting the bar, what were you thinking on the sidelines?
Definitely, I thought that was an opportunity loss. I thought that would have been a winner given the time of the game that he got that chance. But I'm not going to blame him. He did well and to get himself in a goal scoring position. Just unfortunate he could not finish all that pretty move that he made.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Philip Williams there, coach at Tivoli Gardens Football Club. Joining me now is Rudolph Speed, technical director at Cavalier Football Club. Rudolph, you said you were going all-out attack this evening, but I felt like a couple of your main strikers, they were a little lost in the game. I didn't see Ronaldo Webster a lot. Chevron Marsh, he was playing sporadically. What are your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, I mean, yeah, we tried to attack, but remember these youngsters are 18 and 17, so, they probably wasn't so comfortable. But at the same time, based on our last experience with Tivoli, where they led us 3-0 half-time, we were satisfied going in 0-0.
We have some 18 and 17-year-olds starring for Barcelona and playing big professional leagues. But aside from that, do you think you still have a chance to make it to the playoffs?
Oh, definitely, because when our main competition is Tivoli, they're just a point ahead of us. Dunbowl in 6th position is just 3 points, so we're still in the game. We're not worried. I know we're going to get better and better as the week progresses, so I'm fine.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Technical director at Cavalier Football Club, Rudolph Speed. He's not entirely disappointed with the draw here tonight. He thinks that as the competition progresses, he still has a few more weeks to get it right with his young bunch of players. All All right, this is what the table is looking like. Not much has changed. As you can see, Cavalier is still in 8th place. Tivoli Gardens still there in 7th place. And of course, Waterhouse sits at the top on 50 points with Mount Pleasant 3 points behind them on 47. At the bottom of the table, Uwe and Veer United are on 18 points. Malines are just above on, well, more than just above on 27 points. All right, next week, Monday, Red Stripe Premier League football heads to the east. Not far from here, we're at Harborview Football Club at the compound, and they welcome Veer United from Clarendon in central Jamaica. Champions League round of 16 begins Tuesday at 2:30, 3:30 ECT on Sportsmax 2, where Borussia Dortmund will play PSG. And Wednesday at 2:30 p.m., 3:30 ECT, Tottenham Hotspur will play RB Leipzig on Sportsmax 2. All right, the gentlemen have joined me, Lance and Donald. What a game. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was a fair result. Cavalier were outplayed in the first half by the Tivoli team. Cavalier played a lot better in the second half and deserved the goal when they got it. But I didn't think Tivoli deserved to lose tonight, so I'm okay with 1-1.
Well, Teddy Johnson, he got the chance to give them the winner, and it was some pretty stuff, but
you know,
hitting the bar.
We know that Philip Williams is a hard taskmaster, right? But goodness me, his reaction and his nonchalance to the fact that he got the opportunity and he should have scored. I'm like, okay, well, you're right. He showed the skill and he really did turn back the clock in producing that opportunity. But what a goal that would have been. I think that would easily have been the goal of the season.
And it was really nice seeing Jaden White back at Cavalier and, of course, putting on a man of the match show upon his return.
Yeah, he was pretty impressive, especially in that first half. A lot of questions being asked of him. But, yeah, pretty good between the sticks, Shauna.
All right, guys, I had a good time here with you gentlemen on my debut of Red Stripe Premier League Monday Night Football. We do hope you guys had a wonderful time with us watching from home. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Of course, next week we will be at the compound when Harborview welcome Veer United. My name is Shawana Evans, Lance Whitaker, and Donald Oliver. Thank you so much for watching.
Round of 16 action in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League begins on Tuesday, February 18th. And Flow Sports will hop over to Kingston, Jamaica, where the Caribbean's only flag bearer will be in action. Jamaica and Caribbean champions Portmore United will face the acid test when they come up against one of Mexico's finest, the 6-time winners Cruz Azul, in a first leg encounter starting at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Jamaica time. So make it a date. Tuesday, February 18th at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Jamaica time. Portmore United versus Cruz